Hi, this is Cathy Weymouth from Tune the Temple, and I'm excited to announce a new series of short videos, and I'm entitling this Personal Growth Strategy. So this is about if you have an area of your life that you would like to grow in. Is there something that's troubling you, or there's some desire that you have in your own personal experience of life? Well, then this series of videos is going to help you be more successful in reaching your personal growth desires, your dreams, what it is that you would like. So we're going to cover a number of things in this series. So today, let me just tell you a few things that I'm brainstorming that we're going to look at that will help you be more successful. I want to look at your personality and what works for you. We're not all the same. So what works for someone else is not necessarily going to work for you. Let me give you an example. Some people are called starters and other people are called finishers. We're going to look at this in a future video. Are you a starter that you love to start things and you're energized and you just get so excited and actually get like high, like pumped, but then you sort of dwindle out after time? Or are you more a finisher? You're someone that might, once you finally do get going, you just stay on target and you actually finish. So we'll look at the differences of those and how does that affect the strategy that works for you, your personal growth strategy. Okay, that's one example. Another thing that we're going to look at is we're going to assess where are you starting from and where do you want to end up? Like, what is your dream? What is your growth? What does it look like when you've arrived? Well, it may not be a concrete thing like lose 10 pounds. It could be something that you want to just become a kinder person. So you may not say, well, I've arrived, but what is your dream? What is it that you want to transform in your life? So we're going to look at where are you now? Where do you want to go? What's your goal? I want to give you an example. So my boyfriend Bob and I have walked on these trails in our town, Crane Brook, and there's a map. And we have tried to find this one trail that's on the map, and then we tried to find it from the beginning of the trail in the past, and it just seemed to dwindle out, and we ended up turning around and going back and going on another trail that was more obvious. So this past weekend, we were walking on Crane Brook, and we were actually at the end of that trail. And so we were like, well, maybe we could go back towards the beginning of the trail. Maybe this time we'll find it, because we knew where the end was, which is actually, as you're approaching, it's more the beginning, but we knew where we wanted to go. So we were at a place, a junction in the trail system, and we knew where we were headed. Unfortunately, it dwindled out again. We didn't quite get there. We had to turn around. We didn't turn around. We bushwhacked through the woods, which I don't know why, but that's always a challenge for me. I find my mood gets a little frustrated with bushwhacking. But anyway, we knew where we were. We knew where we wanted to go. That's what I want to help you with, assessing your starting place and what is your destination. Okay, another thing we're going to look at is how can we break this down into a journey that is, manageable steps, because sometimes we have this huge goal, but we don't know really how do we break it down so that we can actually reach that goal in the time frame that we're hoping for. So we're going to do some steps and recording process. Okay, so those are three things I know we'll look at. Now, I do have for you, this is an action course. All of my courses are action courses, all of my series, pretty much. I don't want to just give you knowledge because you're not going to change with knowledge. Growth does not come purely with knowledge. You have to actually do something. So this is an action course or action set of series. And here are your first reflection questions for the first week for you to actually consider and work on and contemplate. So these are all reflective questions. So here's question number 1. What has actually helped you not succeed in the past when you were setting a goal? Like, what are your personal struggles? Are you a procrastinator? Are you a perfectionist? So as soon as it's not perfect, you quit. Are you someone who gives up really easily? Or are you someone that just doesn't know how to be consistent? Or how about you're always overloaded, so to add one more thing like a goal is crazy. So these are some ideas I came up with, but I want you to ask yourself, what has caused me not to succeed in the past? Number 2, What has helped you to succeed in the past? Like, what works for you and your personality? Like, does writing down your goals help? That seems to help a lot of people. Does working with a friend help? Having companionship and partnership? Does recording your progress? Those are some examples. So you write that down. What has helped you in the past? And then this is really interesting. What growth transformation would work for you in this season? Like, what are you going to choose to work on? I heard last week, so we're in Vermont and this is January. I heard last week that a Native American friend of this group of women I was sharing my new series with, and this one woman said she had a Native American friend who pointed out that in the winter tends to be a season when people are slowing down and there's more kind of hiding and not being out as much, and there's sort of a lack of energy and all that. So maybe if this is the winter, this may not be the best season for you to get this great big exercise plan going. Or if you want to like be outside more, I want to do more outside activities, increase my exercise, and you hate the cold and you live in the north. Well, this might not be the season for that. So here's my question. In this season, what area of growth do you have the capacity for and the energy for? It might actually be to rest more and relax and put your feet up and take bubble baths. Maybe that's a good goal for this season, to learn relaxation and rest. Okay, question number 4. What area do you want to grow in? What is your area? And I want you to narrow it down to one thing. Like, you can't have 5 goals, 5 topics. You're going to choose one area of transformation that you have the capacity for, and you're going to name it and define it. Okay, name and define it. Choose one. And then number 5, where are you starting in this area, and what is your ending? So what's your desired result? So what's your now? What are you experiencing now? What are your feelings? Contemplate, maybe record these things. And then what does it feel like when you arrive? Like, how do you feel in your life? Imagine that desire and that dream. What does it feel like? What's the date that you want to reach that desired result? So where are you now and where do you want to go, and what's the time frame? Okay, so that's it for this week. And I am putting these questions for you to reflect on in a written handout. So if you would like the handout, please just look at the details for that with this video. Okay, so this is Cathy Weymouth, and this is the Personal Growth Strategy video series with optional handouts. Okay, tunethetemple.com.